Hey, it's Mark Andrews with questions 11 through 20 from the 2022 CFOA study guide. The work I do for you guys. I did this question 3 times, screwed it up a little bit, thought I could do a better job. Did it just perfect, and found out that the microphone wasn't turned on. So here's attempt number 4. Question 11. A, 3rd and 20 at the B40. B99 rushes quarterback A11 and strikes him in the face just after A11 has released the pass to A81, who catches the ball at the B30. A81 fumbles the ball at the B24, and it is recovered by A84 at the B33. Okay, so let's take a look at our rule. The rule references 944 and also the penalty for 944. And 944 simply says roughing the passer is a foul. 943, the one previous to this, is all of the big no-no fouls. Tripping, spearing, targeting, you name it. There's a butt ton of them. And they're all 15 yards. Spend a lot of time with 943 and reading the case book. But they actually have a separate rule for roughing the passer, but they include 943 as well. In other words, they say any foul committed against a passer that's listed in 943 is also considered roughing the passer. And why is that important? It's because roughing the passer carries an additional penalty of an automatic first down. There's only 4 fouls that you get that include an automatic first down. They all involve the word roughing, so it should be really easy for you to remember. Roughing the passer, roughing the kicker, roughing the holder, and roughing the center. Or the snapper, rather, I should say. So, those are the 4 fouls. And in addition to that, roughing the passer has a special enforcement rule. And so if we go down to the penalty table here, wherever the heck it is, there it is. There we go. Defensive players must make an effort to avoid charging into a passer who has thrown the ball from in or behind his neutral zone. That's a very truncated version of what roughing the passer is, because it also includes all those 943 fouls. But for the sake of argument, this is the penalty for, or this is the penalty table for roughing the passer. And it says, you'll notice it says 15 yards and a first down. Right there. Now, we have additional information. It's 15 yards and a first down from the dead ball spot, when the dead ball spot is beyond the neutral zone and there has been no change of team possession, or otherwise 15 yards and first down from the previous spot. So in other words, if the dead ball spot ends up being behind the previous spot, we're going to take it to the previous spot and go 15 yards. If the ball is incomplete, we're going to mark it off from the previous spot. Now, so back to the question, the B99 strikes the quarterback in the face. Well, what is that? Well, that's targeting, right there. Targeting is an act by any player who takes aim and initiates contact against an opponent above the shoulders with the helmet, forearm, hand, fist, elbow, or shoulder. So he either hit him with his hand or his fist, either one. This is targeting. So that's one of those 943 fouls. So this is definitely roughing the passer. So 81, like a dumbass, fumbled the ball at the B24, but luckily A84 recovered at the B33. That is the dead ball spot. So we're going to enforce a 15-yard penalty from the B33. We're going to go to the B18. We're going to have an automatic first down. We would have had a first down anyway. But Abe's ball, 1st and 10 at the B18. All right, question number 12. K, 4th and 6 at the K17. During a legal scrimmage kick, R56 runs into the kicker, K18 at the K6. The kick is caught by R32 at the K40 and run back to the R25. K accepts the penalty. So the test maker is trying to get you to decide whether this is a loose ball play or it is a post-scrimmage kick play. And post-scrimmage kick plays are defined in 216-2H. These are all the different types of fouls, guys. I don't know if you knew there were this many, but 216 is fouls and penalties. And so dead ball, double, flagrant, all that, just goes on and on. So H is post-scrimmage kick. And a post-scrimmage kick foul is a foul by R. So it has to be the receiving team. When the foul occurs during a scrimmage kick play other than a try or successful field goal. So it's basically we're talking about punts and unsuccessful field goals. During a scrimmage kick play in which the ball crosses the expanded neutral zone. So if the ball never gets past the expanded neutral zone and there's a foul by R, it's not PSK foul. We refer to post-scrimmage kick fouls as PSK. The foul has to occur beyond the expanded neutral zone. Okay, again, has to occur in that area that's beyond 2 yards to the defensive side of the line of scrimmage. It has to occur before the end of the kick. And when does a kick end? Either when the ball is caught or when the ball becomes dead. Okay? So this picture you see here, both these images are from the Reading Guide and really give you a good visual of what PSK kick enforcement is all about. And as you can see here, this is the PSK window. Okay, so it actually starts at the snap, but you really couldn't have a PSK foul. I mean, you can have illegal substitution, illegal participation that occur at the snap, but otherwise, the foul has to occur beyond the expanded neutral zone. But PSK starts at the snap. And once the ball crosses the neutral zone and is possessed or ends, that's the end of the PSK window. So just, as a reminder, post-scrimmage kick rules apply only if all of the following conditions are met. The foul is by Team R. Remember that. The foul, other than illegal substitution or illegal participation fouls that occur at the snap, occurs beyond the expanded neutral zone. The foul takes place during the interval between the snap and the end of the scrimmage kick, not a try or successful field goal that crosses the expanded neutral zone. And Team R will be the next to put the ball in play. So, this foul occurs behind the expanded neutral zone, so it does not fall into the criteria for a PSK foul. So he refers to 10.4.2. The basic spot is the previous spot for a foul which occurs during a loose ball play. And remember, a loose ball play is anything other than a running play. So passing, kicking, fumbling. So this is a loose ball play. So the previous spot is our enforcement spot. Okay. I'm not sure why he references 10.4.3 because it again refers to post-scrimmage kick fouls. So disregard that. That doesn't come into play. So what we've got here is running into the kicker by R. It is K 4th and 6th at the K17. So K accepts the penalty is going to be K 4th and 1 at the K22. A. Got it. And then everyone on that crew is responsible to make sure that everything is correct when we reset those chains and the down marker. For those of you, again, new guys, between first and second quarter and between third and fourth quarter, we switch sides of the field. So we have to switch the chains to the other side of the field. And there's a procedure for that. There's a video out there. Hope you've watched it. But this is not a screw up by the head linesman, by the box guy. This is a crew mistake, and it is a big one. Okay? So don't let it happen. And if there's any doubt as to what down it is, stop the game, get together, go check with the they have guys on the sideline keeping track, the statisticians. Go check with both of them. And if worse comes to worse, and there's an iPad available, this is a varsity game, look at the iPad and determine what down it should be. All right? That is permissible. We can't look at iPads for fouls and so on, catch, no catch, but we can do it for this. So don't let this happen. I hope I made myself clear. All right, let's move on. All right, question number 14. A first and goal at the B5. Eligible receiver A83 is running a pass route in the end zone. After A83 has gone past B90, B90 pushes A83 to the ground. As A83 goes to the ground, A12 throws a legal forward pass from the B14 into the area A83 was running to. Then, at the line of scrimmage, B55 tips the pass and it falls incomplete in the end zone. Okay, so again, sort of a gotcha question. We talked about this before. The defensive players can no longer contact a receiver when he is no longer a potential blocker. And in this case, A83 has gone past B90. B90 then pushes him. Then the ball is thrown. Okay? So the ball would have had to been thrown prior to B90 pushing A83 to the ground for this to be pass interference. And then to complicate matters just a little more, the test taker decided that at the line of scrimmage, B55 tips the pass and it falls incomplete in the end zone. So that if B tips the pass, then we don't have any DPI restrictions. But that's sort of what do you call that? It's a misdirection. So if we look at 79C, 923D, it says a defensive player shall not contact an eligible receiver who is no longer a potential blocker. Okay. And so that is an illegal use of hands foul. It's 10 yards. And the answer is C. He references 79C, which is when the pass interference rules end, but it really, we should be looking at it as forward pass interference if any A or B player who's beyond the neutral zone interferes with an eligible player's opportunity to move toward, catch, or bat the pass. So that's the pass interference rule. And we're going to talk a lot more about this. You can't have pass interference if it's behind the line of scrimmage. The contact has to occur after the ball has gone beyond the neutral zone, I believe, or the line of scrimmage, one of the two. But regardless, this is not pass interference. This is illegal use of hands by B90. Okay, question number 15. K 4th and 3 at the K30. K's legal scrimmage kick is touched by R62 at the K35. So it is beyond the expanded neutral zone when it's been touched. And rebounds into K's backfield. So now it's behind the line of scrimmage. K47 recovers the kick at the K27 and advances to the K32. What do we got? Well, the rule references 623, and 623 says any K player may catch or recover a scrimmage kick while it is in or behind the neutral zone and advance unless it's during a try. And then 5-1-3 F says the team in possession at the end of the down, if R is the first to touch a scrimmage kick while it is beyond the expanded neutral zone, unless a penalty is accepted. Make this a little bigger. For a non-post scrimmage kick foul was occurred before the kick ended, or unless 627 applies. So this says when a scrimmage kick down ends and the ball in the field of play or out of bounds between the goal lines, a new series is awarded to, and then if we go down to I, is it I? F. The team in possession at the end of the down. Okay, so the team in possession at the end of the down was K, the kicking team. Now, we do have first touching here. It could be ruled first touching, but K wouldn't want that because they got a first down. It was K 4th and 3. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's going to be... No, I'm sorry. Yes, it is first down. This is a concept called the continuity of plays. So basically what happened, as soon as K's kick crossed the neutral zone, their possession had ended. It was no longer fourth down. Okay, so now this new stuff happens, and K picks the ball up and advances to the K32. So it is going to be K's ball, 1st and 10 at the K32. And you talk about a rule we could really screw up. This is it, right? This just doesn't happen that. Number one, doesn't happen that often that K gets the ball behind the line of scrimmage, and then to advance not to the line to gain and realize that you don't have to, basically, because it's no longer fourth down. It's a lot to remember. So again, this is where the crew should get together and really talk it out, and maybe one of the guys is carrying a rule book in his back pocket. But the correct answer is D. Question number 16. K 4th and 10 at the K5. K has 5 players in the backfield at the snap. So we have an illegal formation on K, right? K's punt is caught at the K50 by R83 and run back to the K20. During the run back, R77 illegally holds K62 at the K30. What do we got? Well, normally when each team commits a foul during a play, we have what's called a double foul, and we simply replay the down. Doesn't matter if it's a 5-yard and a 15-yard. They offset, and we replay the down. The only exceptions to that are non-player and unsportsmanlike player fouls. Those do not offset. Okay, so if we look at C, it says there is a change of possession and the team in final possession accepts the penalty for its opponent's foul during the down. So that is, if the team in possession, which is R, accepts the penalty, the illegal formation, then we're going to have a double foul and we're going to replay the down. If they decline the penalty, you got to read this whole mess. Basically, what this says is that R can retain possession of the ball if they decline K's penalty. Once they decline K's penalty, then K can decide what to do about R's foul. or fouls if there were multiple. So that's, in a lot of words, that's what that says. Okay. So the only question now is, where do we enforce the penalty? And normally it would be the end of the run, which would be at the K20, right? But this is a foul by R, which is just like a foul by A, behind the basic spot, which is the all but one enforcement. Really haven't talked about that yet. I'm sure we will. But basically it says if A or K commits a foul behind the basic spot, which is either the end of the run or the previous spot, then the enforcement spot is where that foul occurred. So the foul occurred at the 30. So R can retain possession if R declines the penalty for K's foul. Enforcement spot for R's penalty is the K30. And A, if R accepts the penalty for K's foul, it's a double foul, replay the down. Both of those are correct, so the correct answer is E. Question number 17. A, 3rd and 3 from their own 14-yard line. From the A7, A12 throws a legal forward pass, which is caught by A89 at the A16, and he is immediately tackled. As A12 was throwing the ball, B47 grabbed and immediately released A12's face mask. So, we have a prohibition against players grasping the face mask, right? So 943H. And it says, no player or non-player shall intentionally contact... No player or non-player shall, and then H, grasp an opponent's face mask, any edge of the helmet opening, chin strap, or a tooth and mouth protector attached to the face mask, and twist, in turn, or pull the face mask. Helmet opening, chin strap, or tooth and mouth protector attached to face mask. Or incidentally grasp the opponent's face mask, helmet opening, chin strap, or tooth and mouth protector attached to the face mask. Now, I read all that for a couple of reasons. Number one, there are two different types of face mask fouls, right? We call them the 15 and 5, but one's a personal foul, one is simply a 5-yard foul. And so, if an opponent grasps if a player grasps an opponent's face mask and immediately lets go or does not twist it or turn it, then we have an incidental face mask, which would be a 5-yard foul. But notice that it isn't just the face mask, it's the helmet opening, it's the chin strap, it could even be the tooth protector. Okay, it basically is any opening in the helmet. Now, if a player puts the opponent in an arm lock type of tackle around the helmet and twists, that is not a face mask, and we see that called quite often incorrectly. Okay, so be careful of that. Make sure that it's a grasp by the hand of the face mask or the helmet opening. So, the other reason this question is here is that even when it's been deemed an incidental face mask foul, it has been ruled roughing the passer, which is incorrect. It has to be the 15-yard foul for it to be roughing the passer. So, what's the enforcement spot? Well, this is a loose ball play, right? It's a pass play. The guy only made it 2 yards. He went from the A14 to the A16. So we're going to have a previous spot enforcement from the A14. They needed 3 yards. They got 5. So we have a 5-yard face mask, A, 1st and 10, from the A-19. The answer is B. Question number 18. A, 4th and 15 at the A-10. The score is A-27, B-26. With 24 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, the clock is running. The back judge raises his hand, and offensive lineman A-67 false starts with 20 seconds remaining. After the penalty is enforced, the referee marks the ball ready for play and starts the clock. Time in the fourth quarter runs out before the offense puts the ball in play. Choices are A, the game is over, or B, the referee should have asked the B coach if he wanted the game clock to start on the snap. If the B coach chooses to start the game clock on the snap, it is A's ball, 4th and 20, 20 seconds remaining. The game clock starts on the snap. And the rule reference is 347. This is a rule that was brought in place 3 or 45 years ago, so relatively new. 347 says, when a penalty is accepted with less than 2 minutes remaining in either half, the offended team will have the option to start the clock on the snap. So, it says either half, notice that. So, the end of the first half, end of the second half, under 2 minutes remaining. If there's a foul, the opposing team, the offended team, gets the choice to have the ball start. The clock start on the snap or on the ready. And so the answer, of course, is B. But the thing I want everyone that's listening to remember is this is when you want to be a crew saver. This is when you want to if you're using radios, hey, we're under 2 minutes. Don't forget, we have to talk to the coaches if we have a foul. Just keep everybody, sharp. So this was incorrectly ruled, and the answer is B. Okay, question number 19. During the pregame conference, the home team head coach verified all his players were legally equipped. During a play in the first quarter, an official sees a home team player, 83, is not wearing any knee pads. So is this an unsportsmanlike conduct on the team coach? Is it an unsportsmanlike contact foul on the player? Is it no foul and the player just must leave the game for at least one down? Or is it both A and B? So this is a rule that has really been misunderstood for a long time, and we've changed the rule several times. So let me make it clear. And it's actually very clear here in 155. When any required player equipment is missing or worn improperly, an official's timeout shall be declared. Okay. That's really all you need to know for the purposes of this question. 151D2 says knee pads, which are on all players must wear. This is pads and player equipment. Following pads, protective equipment are required of all players. Knee pads, which are unaltered from the manufacturer's original design, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is missing equipment, but it's not illegal equipment. That's where we get confused. If we have illegal equipment worn, let's say we have the classic example is spikes on the shoes that are too long. That is illegal equipment, and that is an unsportsmanlike conduct foul on the coach. But that's the only time I think that we are going to issue an unsportsmanlike conduct foul on the coach. We're simply going to send this player off unless the equipment can be readily fixed. For instance, if the knees are exposed and it's a result of play, or maybe it's not the result of play, but you tell the player, hey, pull your pants down. Okay, you can maybe give him one or two of those, and then he's off. Then you're just going to say, hey, you're off for one play. There's several that you do this with: shoulder pads exposed, back pads exposed, mouthpiece out. Send them off for a play. Don't do that. But not an unsportsmanlike conduct foul. So the answer to 19 is C. Okay, question 20. This seems like the last question. Between downs, an official sees player A9 is not wearing his hip pads. And there's all kinds of rules references. This is just required equipment, legal equipment not being worn. It's the exact same situation as the knee pad situation. So the official calls an official timeout, and he has to leave the game for at least one down, and he can't come back until he has those hip pads in. That's that. The answer is A. That's it for me today. See you tomorrow. Well, that's it for questions 11 through 20 from the study guide. Hey, if you like this stuff and you want to see more instructional videos, please, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can click on my picture and it'll take you to my YouTube page. Click the red subscribe button and make sure you also click on the bell so you get notified when I release new videos. If you want to see the entire playlist for these for the testing, click on the symbol on the left.